Y'all, I am so excited. We are kicking this year off with a bang, y'all. Paula, you from Florida. I was just in Miami, so I know you feeling hot, hot, okay? Y'all, I'm playing feeling hot, hot, hot today because I'm trying to send some heated energy. I don't know if you're in the Northeast or the Eastern part of the country right now. It is freezing right now in New York City. It's about 20 degrees. So I'm saying I'm going to send some heated energy, but also we are going to be having a fired up year. I don't know about you, but I am seeing amazing things in store, okay? I am ready to fundraise more in 2024. I'm ready to feel even better in 2024. I'm ready to raise higher in 2024, okay? I got my green for some good luck, okay? Come on now. I don't know about you, but I am feeling fired up. I'm feeling so excited, and I just can't wait to dive into this details. Okay, one more thing though. Does anybody have any New Year's? I don't like the word resolution, but like, what's a New Year's intention that you had? This is a little off script, but I want to see it. What's a little intention that you, Juliana? Hey, I got your letter, girl. It's good to see you in the chat. Okay, if you have a New Year's intention, I want to see it. Let's put it in the chat. Saying no more. I heard that, Alex. Come on now. Who else? Come on now. Who else we got? Show my face in videos on our social media. Courtney, the people want to see you now. I know. Send me your handle because I'll follow you and I'll cheer you on. Okay, we got some spiritual practices. Jeanette is gonna. Jeanette said this is a year of abundance. Come on, somebody. Jennifer says, my word of the year is light. I'm seeing some reading Bibles. I'm seeing my ADHDs. Put it away. Don't put it down. Okay, I heard that. Kemika said funding and connections. Christy said spoken gratitude daily. Yes, every single day. I start with at least 3 gratitudes every single morning. Oh my God, we have so many good ones. Professional growth and throw out imposter syndrome. Throw it out, child. Y'all, if you haven't heard, I am speaking at Transform 24. I'll chat with Grace and I'll make sure that we get it in the email, but it's a free conference. And y'all, I'm giving a talk called The Significance of Your Story. And at the end, we do an exercise where we break up with limiting beliefs. So if you haven't signed up for that, we're going to put it in the chat or we're going to put it in the email or something, but I'll send you the link if you want to be there. All right, a couple more. Frederick says 2024 is a year of passion. I love that. Barbara said, have more fun with a significant other and build my business bigger than ever. You are going to get even more in 2024, Barbara. I can feel it. All right, one more. Moving my body. Mary says, my word of the year is growth. I love that. Valina says, confidence and limiting beliefs. I love it. Y'all, my word for the year is grounded. I want to feel grounded. I want to feel anchored. And I want to be able to shine even more for each and every one of you all because you guys help me shine. When you shine, I shine. We're a team. We are one Give Better fam. Okay, let me not go off book too much, but y'all, I just had thank you for indulging me. I want to do a quick pulse check and see where everyone was at this year because y'all, we are in this together. Don't y'all know? Okay, let me keep going, y'all. Okay, I am Floyd. I hope you know me by now. I am based in New York, New York. I'm in Harlem. Like I said, it's cold over here, but we're bringing the heat in this webinar. Yo, one fun fact, I met a Give Butter fam member on the street a couple weeks ago. I was literally Sunday morning walking in my neighborhood and someone was like, I see you from the webinars. And I was like, Give Butter in the wild. I love it. So if you find me, if you ever run across me, please pull me aside because you know I'll be there to take a quick selfie and make sure we chop it up, okay? I oversee community and partnerships. I love working with small organizations. And yo, I just had a birthday. So if you DM me, find me something, wish me a happy birthday. I just came back from sunny El Salvador, child. I was laying on the beach. I was soaking up the sun. I was living La Vida Loca. I had pupusas all day long. If you hadn't, get familiar. Yes, Courtney, I had me some pupusas. They were amazing. Thank you all so much for the birthday love. All right, y'all know the drill by now. Keep it cute in the comments, y'all. The recording and the slides are going to be emailed. Your friends are going to ask, so make sure you let them know that they are going to get the slides. Use the Q&A. We have an action-packed session for y'all today. Y'all, if you haven't been in a session with Tony, let me tell you, get ready, get your pen and paper together, okay? Y'all want to do more? Well, now we're going to talk about how you do more in 2024, okay? Also, if you are in the Give Butter fam, can we drop a link? Who is in the Give Butter fam? I want to see it. If you're in, can you type I'm in the chat? I want to see it. Who's in the Give Butter fam? Sarah's in, Lisa's in, Terry's in, Sydney's in, Caroline's in, Nancy's in. Y'all, let me tell you, the Give Butter fam on Facebook is the place to be. We're giving tips, we're giving tricks, we're giving donations, okay? And we're gonna do even more donations this year, y'all. So please, if y'all not in, get familiar. We're gonna drop the link. All right, I want to bring up one of my favorite people ever. Y'all, get ready, because not only, you know Holly, raise more Holly, okay? We love Holly, but y'all, this is the newly minted team lead Holly, okay? So can we give a big congratulations to Holly for being a team lead now? And also, Holly, take it away. What's going on at Give Butter now?
Oh my goodness, you always give the best introductions. So thank you so much for that. Everyone,
high value Holly. Somebody remembered it, Holly. That's it. Come on now. We gotta get that. We gotta get that on a bumper sticker or something, child. High value Holly.
I think I need a mug. We'll get
a
mug.
Exactly.
Well, everyone, I am so excited to be here. As Floyd mentioned, I'm Holly, the customer success team lead, and I am here to bring you some product updates today. And boy, are we starting the year off hot. Floyd, I don't even know if you're ready for this. So let's jump in. The first of which, the much anticipated feature, you can now email all of your end of year giving summaries directly to your supporters from Give Butter. You can either do this directly from Track, which is that Give Butter CRM. You can email those directly, or you can include a link when you're sending out an email from Engage that you're already using to send all of your supporters those communications. So a couple different ways to send those out. So get those at the door, and we're going to take that workload off of your plate. Now, this next one, we teased it in the last webinar, and y'all, it is released. It is fully baked. Fundraising letters are here. So now in Give Butter, inside of Engage, you can create fully custom branded direct mail campaigns for any of your segments that already exist in Give Butter. So the best thing about Give Butter is everything is connected in Talks. So you can use any of your donor data to create those lists and send really targeted fundraising letters directly to your supporters. And you can do that all inside of Give Butter now. All right, this one, y'all, I am so stoked on this one. We had just added a couple of new widgets to our existing widget libraries. So you can now include a goal bar on top of an existing campaign if you'd like, or brand new, we now have this beautiful thermometer, which you can see in butter yellow. This is available. It is live in your dashboard under widgets. So please go ahead, add those to your websites, add them where you want them to be. That's gonna be a great way to show your supporters how close you are to your goal. And we know that if there's a campaign and you're getting close to your goal, donors are going to want to join in your success, get you over that limit. So stoked that that one is available. And then last but not least, and I know Floyd is stoked about this one too, is going to be donation matching. Y'all, this matching feature is so buttery, it's so smooth. You can now host a match right inside a Give Butter campaign. You can show how much is going to be matched. And then in the supporter feed for that campaign, all of those donations are going to be doubled. So your supporters can see their impact in real time. And we know that 84% of donors are more likely to give when a match is available. So y'all, use this to your advantage. We want more in 2024. This is going to get you to that place you want to be.
Listen. High value Holly, bring in the fire, bring in the flame. Okay, which one are you most excited about? Because we know people love a thermometer.
I think I'm most excited about matching. I love the thermometer. It's so versatile. It's so buttery. But this matching, y'all, matching
people are going crazy for the match in the chat. I love it.
You're gonna see it.
Do y'all want to see? Do y'all want to see? Maybe we'll have a session specifically on matching donors, on sponsorships, getting people involved. I love that. I love it because this is so good. And y'all, like Holly said, 84% of donors are more likely to donate when you see a match offered. Holly said it. If you want to raise more in 2024, you better get those in. I love it. I love it. I love it. Thank you so much, Holly.
Thanks, Floyd.
All right, y'all. Wish Holly well. We'll talk to you soon. Until next time. Y'all, I am so excited because we have the one, the only Tony Martignetti in the house. Y'all, before we get to Tony, I have a quick story. So I was giving a talk at the Nonprofit Storytelling Conference. This is a very true story, y'all. And one of the people in the audience came up to me. She runs a small grassroots organization. For a long time, their organization had under $300,000 in annual budget. And she kept telling me, I keep hearing about cultivating your community and, mobilize your donors and whatnot, but we're not seeing it pay off. We're not seeing our organization grow. And I said, I know that it seems hard. I know that it seems like a long road, but you have to plant the seeds now so that you can watch them grow later. That's what it's all about. Plant your seeds now. You have no idea that what the plants are, what the seeds are going to look like in the future. Let's continue to till that soil. Let me tell you something, y'all. The third week of December, she called me on the phone. She said, Floyd, I am so excited. I have to tell you something. Even though it's hard to say, one of our longest standing donors who's been with our organization, they haven't given a long time, they actually made a gift in their estate to our organization. Now their organization literally doubled its operating budget overnight. Doubled its operating budget overnight. And y'all, one thing that made me realize is when you care for your community now, watch your community care for you later. When you care for your community now, watch your community care for you later. And that is all the things and so much more that Tony, the extraordinaire, is going to come up and talk to us now. Tony, hello.
Hello, Floyd. How are you? Hello, everybody.
I'm
Hello.
so excited to have you. Okay, Tony, we were just talking about what is your intention for the year? What is one intention you have for the year?
I would say growth. Growth. Yeah. Although I have to shout out the person who said giving back more. That was very touching. But I don't want to steal it. I would say growth. Yeah.
I love that. I love that. Well, I know you're going to talk a lot about planned giving and more. That was my quick story on planned giving, but I'd love for you to take over the floor. So I'm going to stop sharing and I'm going to let you take it away.
Okay. Now, Floyd really brings the energy. So, but if you think that that's ended, by no means, because there's no way that he is getting the only chance to do the shout outs, because I love seeing where people are from. And there's 413. So I hope you're lined up. So you better start taking notes. No, but I got to say hello to my folks in New Jersey. I live in North Carolina. We're getting there. We're getting to North Carolina, but I was born in New Jersey. So I got to shout out Tony, T-O-N-I from New Jersey. I'm T-O-N-Y from New Jersey. Amy, I saw Amy in New Jersey, Christy in New Jersey, no, KJ was in Kansas, but KJ in Kansas. So hello to my New Jersey folks. My heart is still kind of in Bergen County. I'd say a bit of it is. I love seeing Matt in Minnesota, Mitzi in Michigan. I love that. And Mary in Phoenix. Well, all right, but Phoenix is still cool, but ruins our alliteration. Matt in Minnesota, Mitzi in Michigan, but Katie in California. There's one. Katie in California. My North Carolina folks. I live on the beach in Emerald Isle, North Carolina. So I saw Emma in Charlotte, Tammy in Charlotte. Emma and Tammy, do you know each other? Charlotte's not that big a city. It's not like New York. Maybe Emma and Tammy even know each other. Larissa in Asheville. Oh, the Grove Park Inn, Asheville. French Broad Chocolates. If you ever go to Asheville, you got it. French Broad Chocolates, so the pretty blue box. That's just the beginning. You want what's inside. Jamie in North Carolina. Kathy in Wilmington. Wilmington, not too far, like an hour and a half. I use the Wilmington airport all the time. Direct flights to New York. Yeah, and to Washington too. I got to shout out Idalis Moreno in Connecticut because she was just with me on the last webinar. Well, I was just with Chevy Quam Taylor in the last hour, and Idalis was there. So Idalis, thank you for joining like 2 hours in a row. You're gonna say Martinetti. He's a nice guy, but overexposed. Too much. I see the Bush family is with us from Texas. I don't know if it's the Bush family, but the Bush family is with us from Texas. And and I missed Michael, Snow Camp, North Carolina. Sorry, Michael. No disrespect there. North Carolina, the other half of my heart. And I love Ace. I love anybody named Ace. That's so cool. What a cool name. Ace in Connecticut. So and the last two, I saw Jennifer in Alaska and Brandy in New Hampshire. So you don't get too much further apart than Jennifer and Brandy. So Floyd thinks he gets all the fun, but not true. You see how they script the thing so that he gets all the good parts, and then the guest comes on and says, "I'm really excited to be here." But I am excited to be here because Floyd and Grace together and Holly So grateful to give butter. And, who doesn't love a golden piece of toast smothered with butter? So brilliant. And I'm grateful. All right, let me get the screen share thing going. Fantastic. We're going to talk about my 5 top tips for planned giving in 2024. But first, a little story. I saw on Twitter that the average attention span, or pardon me, X, Twitter, but the average attention span is 9 seconds. And I thought, that's just enough time for my mother to create guilt. I'm coming over for dinner. Can't you stay for the night? I'm coming to stay for the night. Can't you stay for the weekend? I'm coming to stay for the weekend. Take me on a cruise. I'm taking you on a cruise. Why don't you move back home? I'll move back home. Let's get cemetery plots. So that's what made me think of, and the first level, of course, that's about motherly guilt. Some of you may have experienced that from time to time. It does crop up for many of us. But if you go a little to the next level, it's a story about wanting deeper relationship, right? And I'm hoping to expose you to how easy, not just expose, show you, demonstrate to you how easy and accessible planned giving is for your nonprofit, so that you will have those deeper relationships. Now, you may not be going over to folks' houses for dinner or getting cemetery plots with them, but you can easily enjoy deeper relationships when you start your planned giving program. And I'm going to show you how to get launched so that planned giving is not inaccessible to you. I hate that. I abhor that people are afraid of planned giving. So let's cut through that. Here's what we're going to talk about. I got some what and why, just so we're all on the same page. Your best prospects, how to get started. A little surprise there for our Give Butter friends. Some marketing ideas and a little continuing ed if you want to learn more. Q&A, critical, of course. And then throughout all this, I'll be revealing my 5 top tips. If you happen to be Gen Z or Gen X or Millennial, which I think a lot of folks are, I've got a little bonus for you. What and why of planned giving? So this is when folks are thinking about making a planned gift to you, they are considering whether to include you and how to include you. I say your nonprofit, right alongside the donors, their husband, wife, partner, children, grandchildren. That's how important your work is to the folks, to your potential donors. And when you're talking to the right folks, and we're going to talk about who those right folks are, this is an easy conversation to have. So they're thinking about how your work, your mission fits in alongside their dear loved ones. And for today, the kind of gift we're going to talk about for launching planned giving, this is long-term giving. These are gifts of cash to your nonprofit at the donor's death. There are other types of planned giving. We're not going to talk about those. We're going to talk about the way to launch planned giving, the simple way. And so a little why. Why, if you need motivation, of course, you're here, 432 strong. I wish Give Butter, I wish Give Butter would kind of get some decent sized audiences. It's a little embarrassing, 432 only. I'm accustomed to, Madison Square Garden size. So maybe Give Butter, try to step it up a little next year if I come back. No, Give Butter is outstanding. I'm dripping with sarcasm. So why do this if you need motivation, even though you are here? Because it's all about the sustainability of your work. So many planned gifts and gifts we're going to be talking about, gifts and wills, they're unrestricted. They're unrestricted, so they help you build your endowment. You put as much as possible of these unrestricted dollars that come in at your donor's death into your endowment. It's for the sustainability of your work. And if you have zero endowment now, everybody did. Every nonprofit. Name the biggest nonprofit in the biggest nonprofit in New Hampshire, Alaska, North Carolina, Texas, Connecticut, ACE. Name the biggest ones you want anywhere in the country, including Canada. I didn't catch anybody from the north, but there probably are folks from our neighbors up north. Name the biggest nonprofit you can think of. I guarantee you, at least 75% of all their planned gifts are the simple gifts in wills that we're going to be talking about. And those gifts come unrestricted. And you can use those to help you build your endowment. And those biggest charities I just said mentioned, sometimes we even forget that they are charities. At one time, they had zero endowment. And they've grown it, obviously, right? Some of them into the billions, whoever you're thinking of. So, but at some time they had zero. So don't be disenchanted. This will help you launch your endowment or grow it. Who are these best folks to talk to, right? Your best prospects for planned giving. These are people who love your work. They're committed to you. And how do we know that they are committed, that they love your work? Because they are your most loyal, committed donors. These are the people you want to talk to about planned giving. Committed, loyal, long-term donors. I'm talking about folks, let's say your nonprofit's been around for 20 years. These are people who over 20 years or have made 20, 25, 30 gifts. Okay, maybe they skipped a year or two here and there. I'm not saying, universal for the past 20 years, but they've made a lot of gifts in those 20 years. And some of your nonprofits, I'm sure, go back even more, decades. I mean, some folks, these charities sometimes 60, 70 years old. The giving records may not go back that far, but the giving does, and the charity, the work does. So, if you're that old, if you've been around for 60, 70 years, you want to go, look, who are the people who have been giving to you for 35, 40 years, 50 years maybe, right? And sometimes multiple gifts in a year. I mean, I've seen it, like 50 gifts in 30 years or something like that. When you go back and query, it's just incredible. So these are your committed loyal donors. They're the folks you want to talk to about planned giving, and about 55 to 60 and over. Okay. Because that's the point where people start thinking about their long-term plan and their will specifically, we're going to be talking about, as a way of giving back to the nonprofits that have been important to them in their lives and in their families' lives. So not the first time they're thinking about their wills. No, that's decades earlier. But the first time they think about using that to give back, okay, as a means of giving back to the community, to the causes that have been important to them. Okay, so now what if you don't have age in your CRM database? Don't worry about it. Just use giving history. That'll work fine. So don't get discouraged. Another time I'm saying, don't be disenchanted. Don't be discouraged. If you don't have age in your CRM database, skip it. Just use that committed, loyal giving history.
I was just going to jump in on that because I see
Floyd
a lot of
Jones,
people
you're jumping
asking,
in, and it's anarchy here. It's anarchy. Yes, what can I do for you?
I see people asking, if you're a new organization or a newer organization, does that disqualify you? Because I don't believe the answer is yes. Can you share a little bit more about that?
I think an organization should be at least 5 years old. At least 5 years old, because you're talking about your work, your organization living longer than the donor. So less than 5, people are going to be a little skittish. They're not going to be so sure that you're going to be around. But I'm glad you're here because, I don't want to see that participant number go down to 400 because 36 charities are under 5 years old. No, don't leave. You need to plan. You need to be planning for your future. You want to know what planned giving is. So when you get to that 5-year point, you know what to do. You know where to launch. So, okay, good. The number didn't go down. All right, we didn't scare anybody away. No, absolutely. It's good to plan, but I like to see that 5 years. It's reassuring to your donors. That's the point. Thank you, Floyd. And thanks to those folks who asked that insightful question. Excellent. Thank you. Look to your board for leadership. Brand new fundraising initiative. I think your board should be invested. I like to see 100% participation among planned giving across the board, in the board. Top tip number 1, here it is. Identify those top prospects, right? I just helped you identify them. Go back, start querying, looking for those loyal, committed donors, right? Identify your top prospects. Top tip number one. Okay, gifts and wills. This is the place where you launch your planned giving. Absolutely. This is the place to start. And this is a little busy slide, but that's because the keen-eyed among you, the astute among you, will see the tribute that I gave to by using the first letter in each bullet to spell out our Give Butter family, right? See that? Spells out Give Butter. That's why it's a busy slide. I mean, if the company name was just Acme, there wouldn't be that so much on the slide. It would just be 5 letters, but they chose Give Butter, so we got to work with that. So that's why it's a busy slide. But it's the busiest of all. But it's worth it because we're tributing our guests. I mean, our host, right? So, okay, gifts and wills. Why is this the place to start? All right, we're going to talk through it. First of all, you got to respect your small lifetime donors. People who make small gifts, I just say small donors, small lifetime donors. I'm not commenting on their character. I'm not saying they're small people. They make small gifts. But if you prefer to say modest gifts, I know a lot of people like modest gifts. Okay. I say small gifts. They're not small people. They just make small gifts. You got to respect them because they are your future planned giving donors. Absolutely. If they're giving to you consistently, as we know, they're great prospects in the future for planned giving. It's true. You can't know about all the gifts. That's because in the United States, and I would bet it's true in Canada too. I'm going to assume we have some folks from Canada, that for every gift in a will that you know about, there's another 7 to 8 that you don't know about. The folks will never tell you. It's just too private and too personal for them. And I'm sure it's the same in Canada as well. So there's a lot of gifts out there that you're never going to know about. But of course, you keep trying to get people to self-identify, right, with little checkoffs and conversations. But for some people, they just won't tell you, even though you're in their will. Verily, now again, if the company name was Acme, we wouldn't need a V, but they chose Give Butter, so I needed a V here. So verily, truthfully, look back at the giving history to be amazed. I mentioned that earlier. I still get chills. I've been doing planned giving since 1997, 27 years, and 27 years. Yeah. And I still get chills when I'm looking at a one-dimensional screen. You look back at the giving history and the number of gifts over so many years. You'll be amazed. You'll be amazed. Easily the most popular planned gift. Yes, by far, as I said earlier, 75% minimum of all planned gifts in any charity you want to name. The biggest or yours after you launch your planned giving, it's going to be gifts and wills. 75% minimum, and I've seen it go as high as 90%. It's the low-hanging fruit. It's the most popular planned gift by far. That's a big reason it's the place to start. Beautifully easy for your donors. That's because there's 3 things that are true about wills, which are another reason why this is the place to start. And because it is so easy. Everybody knows what a will is. Everybody knows how wills work. And everybody knows they need a will. Those 3 things make it easy for your donors. They understand what you're talking about. You don't have to educate them on the value of life insurance as a planned gift or charitable remainder unit trust with net income makeup provisions, which actually exists. I'm not making that up. Dallas heard me mention it in the last hour. Yeah, that exists. You don't have to teach your donors about that. Simple gifts and wills, right? Everybody knows what wills are. Everybody knows how they work. And everybody knows they need a will. Also, by the way, it makes it easy for your team. You don't have to train up your team on the nuances of different methods of planned giving. Gifts and wills, that's the place to launch. Understand, and neither do you. Again, Give Butter. If it was Acme, we don't need a you. Refer donors to their attorneys. So if the conversation should ever turn technical, like, is this, what part of my will should I include you in? Or, then you are politely referring them to their attorney because you're expert in what? You're expert in what you and your donor have in common. Your work. That's what the conversation is about. That's what the conversation is about. Your work and how important it is to your community that work continues for decades and generations. So anything more technical about wills and estates, you politely refer them to their attorney. And as I say in the next bullet, You're talking about the value of long-term gifts to your mission and your work, your values, right? The long term, how important that is to your community. That is to say, you're not talking about death. It's not a death conversation. And you see the asterisk. And here's where the Gen Z, Gen X, and Millennial bonus comes in. This should ease your fear of talking about planned giving with folks that may be your parents or your grandparents' ages, because you're not talking about death. You're talking about life. The life of your nonprofit, the sustainability of your nonprofit. That's what the whole conversation is about. How important it is to your community that your nonprofit live on indefinitely. So it's a conversation about life, not the dreaded D, not death. Okay? I hope that allays people's concerns. You know, if you're worried about talking to older folks about their death, that's not what the conversation is about at all, at all. And when you're talking to committed, loyal donors, they're ready to have this conversation. It's a natural extension of all the giving that they've been doing over so many years. Expect cash, but anything of value is possible. So, you know, we don't like, you know, some people will say, you know, we're going to get gifts we can't use. Oh, we can't do planned giving. Wills, no, we can't do it. Those naysayers. We're going to leave people are going to leave us gifts in their wills and we're not going to be able to use it. It's going to be like junk cars and Hummel collections that are worthless. What are we going to do? It's going to be so bad, so bad. Cut those naysayers off at the knees. Not literally, just figuratively. Just cut off their arguments at the knee. Let's leave it at that. Again, since 1997, probably 98% of the gifts I've seen in wills, straightforward, simple, very desirable gifts of cash. Don't worry about the 1 or 2% that is so unlikely it's not even worth worrying about. Put that aside. Cut the naysayers' arguments off at the knees. Expect gifts of cash. And as I said earlier, almost all unrestricted. And so really, coming to the end of the tribute to our Give Butter hosts, really, this introduces my next 2 top tips for 2024. Yeah, I almost released number 3 prematurely. We don't want that. Tony's top tip number 2, start simple with gifts and wills. Okay, I'm making it explicit. I teed it all up. Here it is explicitly. By the way, is this too subtle? Is this, maybe it's not coming across? It may be too subtle. So just in case, you know, no, I'm sure it's not. Start simple, gifts and wills. Please, please launch your planned giving with the simplest of all planned gifts and the most common of all planned gifts. By far, minimum 75%. And top tip number 3, don't hire any lawyers. Don't recruit any lawyers. You don't need volunteers on your board who are lawyers. You don't need to hire lawyers. For Pete's sake, don't recruit any lawyers. You don't need them. You know now how simple planned giving is when you launch it smartly. No lawyers necessary. And I'm a lawyer. I used to be. I didn't like practicing law. That's a long story. So I got distracted now by my long story. I can't tell it. So, I'm a lawyer. And I'm telling you, you don't need a lawyer, okay? For Pete's sake. All right, that's 3 out of 5. 60% home on the top tips. So this is where we are so far, right? Everything checked off there, revealed those 3 top tips. I got some marketing ideas for you. And then continuing ed, if you want to learn more, all-important Q&A, 2 more top tips coming as well. Marketing ideas, let's start talking about them. Events, drop a few speaking points into the remarks. If you're drafting the remarks or whoever is, it's easy, you know, a couple sentences where it doesn't have to be lengthy. This is not a page of remarks, not about planned giving. We're focusing on our long term. You know, you all, I'm channeling now the speaker at your event. You all know how important our work is to the community. That, you know, that's why you're here. That's why you're here with us today. We're focusing on the long term. It's so easy for you to support us in the long term by including us in your will. It's something I hope you would consider doing. And if you'd like any more information about how valuable it is to us for the long term, please talk to Floyd. Floyd's back in the corner, and I mean, it's not like he's being punished. I mean, it's not, he just happens to be in the corner. I mean, he's making his way around because right now I'm speaking, and then Floyd's in the back, and then later maybe Floyd will come up and he'll be mingling, of course. But right now he's just in the back. Talk to Floyd, and you'll learn how important a long-term gift like this is to us. And there you go. So what did I just recite? Like, I don't know, was that a minute or something like that? That's all you need, a few sentences, okay? And a sidebar in your program, whether you do print or digital program, a little sidebar, just rehash the few sentences that are going into the rehash. That's a bad choice of words. Repurpose. That sounds so much better, right? When we repurpose, we're so much happier than when we rehash. Bad choice. Repurpose. Repurpose the couple of sentences for the speaker into your sidebar. I'm a big fan of sidebars. Big fan. Like in 40, 50 words, you can say it all. Sidebars or articles in your newsletter and your annual report, absolutely. Again, I'm a much bigger fan of sidebars than articles. Articles, 250, 300 words, you got to get them approved. No, that should be a semicolon here, not a comma. Oh, shoot me. So sidebars, so much easier to get approved. You can be brief. You can be brief about planned giving and how important it is and how easy it is. Sidebar. I hope you don't get tasked to write an article. In whatever print media you've got, print channels you've got, newsletter, annual report, etc. Annual report, if you're recognizing your other donors, not that you have to, but if you make the choice to do that and go through that excruciating exercise of, no, I don't think she uses the MD after her name. No, she doesn't like to be recognized. No, this one's supposed to be anonymous. No, they want to be known together, not separate. No, but this other couple, they want to be separately listed. If you're going through that excruciating exercise for all your other donors, you certainly should do it for your planned giving donors as well. They deserve that respect, really, recognition. And you're inviting others, of course, to join them. Simple page on your website, 2 pages at most. Simple page. You don't need to pay these companies that, for $750 a quarter, they sell you, calculators and tax calculators and income calculators and planned giving encyclopedias. You don't need those. You don't need those because you're starting simple gifts and wills. So what does go on your one or maybe two web pages devoted to planned giving? Testimonial quote, like a pull quote, maybe from a donor or a donor couple, maybe their picture. Testimonial quote pull quote about how easy it is to do, or about why your work is so important to them that they put you alongside their dear loved ones in their will. I would include a few sentences about the importance of the sustainability of your work, naturally, in your community. And then a contact person, contact Floyd. Okay, but of course, we know that Floyd is not having technical conversations about wills. That's not what we're referring to the contact person for. We're referring them to have conversations about the importance of the sustainability of the work and the value of these long-term gifts to your work, right? Remember, that's what you have in common with your donors. So that's what Floyd is going to be talking to folks about, not technical wills conversations. And easy, email signature. Anybody in your organization could include this in their email signature. You include us in your will. It's easy, right? I'm the evangelist for planned giving, so I'm looking for ways to expose planned giving to your potential donors. Drop a buck slip in existing packages. Okay, so now this is for direct mail. So I'm envisioning here direct mail that's not devoted to planned giving because that's expensive. I'm trying to keep this low lift, low budget impact. So you've got some direct mail piece for some other purpose. Put a buck slip in. Now, by buck slip, I mean, it might be an old term, I don't know, but they're printed 3 on a page. So they're cheap to print. So it's a third of a page. That kind of look like a sidebar. Are we rehashing that sidebar? No, we know we're not rehashing it. We know that we're repurposing it. Repurposing the sidebar in the buck slip. So you drop a third of a page in, doesn't impact your postage cost. Doesn't increase your postage. So I love buck slips. I love sidebars, short, concise. You don't have to wax on about the history of planned gifts since the 1600s. It's not necessary. Not necessary. Everybody with me on the rehash versus repurpose debate? I really feel like repurpose is much better. Repurposing is much better than rehashing. So,
okay, so I want to chime in really quick, Tony, if that's okay. So
yes, go ahead. All right, what is it?
A lot of people had questions about how do you start bringing these topics up, right? Like, how do you bring the topic up about planned giving or adding to the will? And I really want everyone to see a lot of the different techniques and tips that Tony gave. And one thing that's really, really important that I really want to highlight is this is about life. Right? Like this is about another way that they can get involved and partner with you in their giving. A lot of times I talk about we as an organization have to be a bridge, right? You're a bridge between where your donor is and the impact that they want to have in the world. You're a bridge between where your donor is and the change that they want to see in their community, right? And this is just another method and opportunity to make that change. So you start the conversations in your events. Now Give Better has direct mail. We also have ways that you can actually make your own letter writing campaigns. Someone was asking, how do you infuse this into what you're doing with Give Better? Use the tools at your right here. And remember, it's not about making the sale or getting the gift right now. It's about how are you building a community of stewardship? How are you building your community of donors? How are you engaging with your community of supporters for the long term? So then that way their impact can go the distance.
Floyd, why do you talk so fast? I can't believe it. How fast you talk. It's unbelievable. I can't keep up. Thank you for reiterating that it's a conversation about life. Absolutely. And to the question, you're thinking, oh, he's gonna slip away from this question. He's gonna evade it. No. How do you start? How do you open that conversation? Similar to this. Just my glasses first. We're focusing on the long term. You have been a supporter for such a long time, and we're going to folks just like you who have been giving to us for years and years because we are so grateful and that you realize how important our work is for the long term. We're focusing now on long-term gifts and gifts and wills, and we're encouraging our long-term supporters to include us in their will. Is that something that you would consider? Now, is that the first minute of your conversation? Of course not. But when you're meeting with donors, whether I don't care what format, hopefully face-to-face. I love the face-to-face meetings, especially over meals. I love the exchange, the sharing, not sharing the plate, but sharing the space, the meal. I love donor meetings over meals. But however you're meeting, virtual or in person, when you're talking to your loyal, committed donors, and you'll know that because you always check the giving history of someone before you pick up the phone or before you go into a meeting, because you want to make sure that maybe they made a recent gift. You want to make sure to thank them, or so you're always checking the giving history before a meeting, and you want to check the actions and make sure that you're current on all their activity with you. So when you're talking to those loyal, committed donors, open the conversation about the long term. And as I said, when you're talking to those right folks, they are ready to have this conversation. How does that sound, Floyd? Does that sound reasonable? Does it sound doable? Okay, cool. Top tip number 4. I don't know, you can call it bread or clams or dead presidents or whatever other euphemism you might like in the parlance of our day. Don't budget a lot of it. You don't need a lot. You don't need a lot. These marketing tips that I just gave you, low lift, low cost. It's not expensive. Planned giving, it's easy, it's accessible, and it's affordable. And finally, Tony's top tip number 5. Oh, the naysayers. Oh, no, we can't do it. It's going to be so hard. Oh, no. Cut off those naysaying arguments at their knees. Get started. Look for your committed, loyal donors. Start having conversations. It's that simple. You don't need some big splashy launch. It doesn't have to be on your website before you start opening conversations. As I'm channeling those naysayers, another one is, oh no, It's going to hurt our other fundraising. You're going to kill our other fundraising with this. People are going to put us in their wills, and they're going to stop their other giving. Cut that naysayer argument off at the knees. I've been doing this for 27 years. I have seen thousands of people increase their other giving after they've told the organization that they have included that organization in their will. They increase their other giving. Well, Tony Martignetti, yeah, this guy, okay, nice guy, but he's got 27 years worth of anecdotes. Anecdotes. What am I going to do with anecdotes? Worthless. Okay. Then I refer you to Professor Russell James at Texas Tech University. There's somebody here from Texas. Oh, that's right. The Bush family is with us from Texas. Professor Russell James, Texas Tech. His research area is planned giving fundraising. He studies it quantitatively. He has research that of the hundreds of nonprofits that he surveyed, on average, 75% of the donors who told one of those organizations that they had included the organization in their will increased their other giving to that same organization. 75% of the donors on average. Okay, so you've got my anecdotes, you've got Professor Russell James's quantitative research. Cut that naysaying argument off. It is not going to hurt your other fundraising. In fact, there's a 75% likelihood that it's going to help your other fundraising. So, sorry, naysayer. Well, I could say I'm a boomer. I'm a young boomer, 61. Okay, naysayer. So this is where we've been. All that stuff, most prominently, of course, revealed the top 5 tips for 2024. If you want to learn more, here's a book. I don't think it's in digital form because it's an old book, but Planned Giving doesn't change that much. And this is a very simple book. It's consistent with everything I've been saying about bequests. It's a simple book. So Planned Giving Simplified, Robert Sharp Sr. I have a free how-to guide if you're interested in getting it. It'll go into detail on some of the things I've been talking about, more detail. Unleash the game-changing power of Planned Giving at your nonprofit. Just snap the code, take you right to the page. You get the free download of the how-to guide, okay? And if you want to go even deeper, I have something called Planned Giving Accelerator. It's an online course that I teach. We're starting the next class in March. It runs for 3 months. March, April, May. We'll be done by Memorial Day, so no impinging on your summer plans. And I'll guide you each week. We meet for an hour in a meeting format, not a webinar format. We meet in a meeting format so people can just talk across each other and we can converse once a week. An hour a week for the 12 weeks. And I will guide you step by step how to launch Planned Giving at your nonprofit. The information is at plannedgivingaccelerator.com. And for the Give Butter, not only the Give Butter family who are clients, but for everybody on the Give Butter webinar right now, that's you. You're in. Use the code GiveButter1500 and you can claim $1,500 off your tuition in January. You can use that code at plannedgivingaccelerator.com. It's good. Trust me. There we go. What do you think, Floyd?
There we go. That was amazing. First of all, can we give it up for Tony in the chat?
Oh, thank you so much. All right. I'm going to take, snap the code. If you want to get that QR code, I'm going to take this down. A couple seconds left.
And we'll send it in an email. We'll send it in an email as well. So let's get into some of this question. We have some Q&A. So let's ask some Q&A. So
great job. Oh, thank you for all the shout outs. Thank you very much.
Yes, taking the love, Tony.
Vernica, what a beautiful name, Vernica. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm distracting from the Q&A. Go ahead.
Okay, so is giving history and how long someone gifts, does that qualify them for an ask of a legacy gift? I guess what Chris is asking is giving history like the main qualifier? And I think you said yes, right?
Absolutely, yes. Giving history is the sole qualifier if you don't have age in your database. You know, some like colleges, you know, or high schools, they have the luxury of age because they know dates of birth. But if you don't have that, use giving history. Use giving history. Query on that. And let me add, I didn't say anything about the size of those gifts. Don't put minimum sizes on. You're interested in the loyalty, the consistency, the longevity of the giving. I don't care if those are $5 gifts. I don't care if the person's lifetime giving history of 45 gifts in 30 years, their average gift was $5. Maybe that's all they ever gave was $5 each time. They're a great, great prospect for a gift in their will. Absolutely. Don't qualify it by gift size.
I love that. It's about the size of the generosity. Come on, somebody. I love that.
There you go. Oh, look at Floyd. All right. Yes.
Riley, in the same vein, asked a similar question. When you're having a planned giving conversation with a donor, do you suggest an amount or percent of their will? Or do you just generally ask to include your organization in their will?
Riley, beautiful.
Oh. Yeah, go ahead.
Wait, yeah, I forget the second question. So let me break it down for me.
Riley asked 2 questions.
So. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. I'm not nothing on Riley. It's my shortcoming. So because I would have had to ask you to repeat the second question. Wait, what was the first question? No, I remember it. Wait, what was it? What was it really? No, do you ask? I know what it was. Do you ask for a percentage or a dollar amount? I'm messing with you, Floyd. No, Riley, it's too personal. We don't ask for dollar amounts. We don't ask for percentages. Just include us in your will. Now if they want to get specific about like a program that they want to fund or something, then you may have a minimum level for that. But what did I say? Vast majority, unrestricted. Don't ask for an amount that it gets too personal.
What's like a planned giving? Well, maybe I was going to ask, what's a planned
giving? What about Riley's second question?
You actually answered it in your response.
Oh, okay. See, soothsayer, savant. You didn't even have to say the second question, and I got it.
Okay, well, I have a question. This might not be a thing, but was there ever an unplanned surprise in your planned giving plans? I said planned a lot, but do you get what I'm putting down?
I can pick it out of there. Yeah, I can tease out the question in there. Yes. Yeah, because remember, for every gift in a will that you know about, there's another 7 to 8 gifts that the person doesn't tell you. You won't find out until they die. So yeah, there are a lot of surprise planned gifts.
And the reason why I wanted you to point that out, and I really want everyone to hear this, is because you are not in it to get the donation. Yes, the donation is amazing. Yes, the donation is great. And obviously that's why you have a planned giving program. But for the reason why he says for every 1 planned gift, there's always over 6 that you don't even know about is because you have stewarded those donors over the long term. I don't even like the word steward. You've cared for your people. You treated them like actual community members. And that is what this is about. I always say, if you want to go fast, go by yourself. But if you want to go far, go together. That's why I talk fast. I'm talking alone, child. But when we're talking together, we slow down. Come on, somebody. But that's what it's about. You're building for the long haul. You're building for believers. Remember, not just donors, you're building for believers. I love that. Thank you, Tony.
No, okay. What I love is if you want to go far, if you want to go fast, go by yourself. If you want to go far, go together.
Come on, somebody.
Excellent.
We just received a $900,000 bequest. Karen Chow, we need to go ahead. You want to go Come on up, Karen. Come on now. We just received a $900,000 bequest that we were not expecting. Those letters out of the blue are amazing. Karen, that is incredible. I wish, if you're in the Facebook fam, let us know your secret. Let us know what you have done over time and how long it took you to build relationship with that person. That's an unplanned plan, child.
Outstanding. That $900,000. That is just an opportunity for me to say, oh, sparklers. Excellent. Sparklers and champagne. Opportunity to say the average charitable bequest in the US, and I'm sure it's similar in Canada too, maybe even more, very generous up there. $35,000 is the average.
Wow.
That's a major gift. I mean,
a major gift.
That's not Karen $900,000 standard, but that's a major gift for just about any organization.
Maybe it's Karen, it was the equivalent of 35,000. Maybe their 900 is my 35. Who knows?
But that is the average. That is the average.
We love it. We love it. Okay.
Oh, Alicia, visionary. Oh, thank you, Alicia.
For the ones that are not, we got 3 more minutes, so you have a lot of questions in here. All right,
Okay,
for the
no,
ones
sorry.
that are not, we don't need to. Okay, no, we answered that. Is the best strategy. We just
Thank
talked
you,
about.
Alicia.
So for the okay, there's a lot of questions that I think we. Okay, anonymous attendee. A lot of anonymous attendees. It's okay, y'all.
I don't answer anonymous questions. I don't take them.
Stop
I don't take
it.
them.
Do planned gifts typically just come to your org through a check? How do you know when they arrive / what stewardship can happen if the donor has already passed?
Okay. When the donor dies, you will get a notice. The formal name is a notice of probate, but you will get a notice when anybody dies whose will you're named in. And that'll have all the contact information. And then from there, you contact that person. Sometimes it's an attorney, sometimes not. And you'll find out, when the distribution is going to be made from the estate. And it'll come in the form of a check. Yes. But by law, you have to be notified when someone dies and you're included in their will. Whether they told you or not. Doesn't matter.
I love it. All right. What would you say as a final thing? What is one final thing that you would leave with the community on this topic?
Floyd talks too fast. I can't keep up.
You're not going to come on my webinar. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. No, but seriously, do you have
approach? I know. I am. I'm phrasing. I'm taking a moment. I'm having a moment.
I love it.
Planned giving. Easy, accessible, affordable. It's not the black box. It's not too technical for you. It's not the death conversation. It's easy for you to launch. Just find those most loyal, committed donors and start opening conversations. It's that easy.
Start the conversation. I love that. That's a word for the rest of 2024. Just start. Just start. Come on now. No fear in 2024. We're going to start. No topic is off limits. Y'all, thank you so much, Tony. Show some love to Tony in the chat. We appreciate you. We're grateful for you. We're about to get going with our planned giving. Y'all, I have a few more slides left. But first of all, Tony is incredible, isn't he? Sorry, we're going to go a little bit fast on these slides, but I want to get to the end because next month we're going to have the one and only Tammy Zonker, and we're talking about how to transform the transaction, how to ask for donations with empathy and authenticity. Y'all, I'm so grateful for you. Thank you so much for showing up. I hope to see you at next month's webinar with Tammy. I hope you guys join our Facebook fam if you haven't. Register for office hours and future webinars. But most importantly, thank you. We are on this journey together, and I'm so excited to see what we're able to accomplish in the rest of 2024. I'll talk to y'all soon, okay? Put it in the chat. I'll talk to y'all soon. Bye, y'all.